This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and today we're going to pull apart. No, we're not really going to pull something apart. It's more of a share today, I would say. However, it's more of an uncovering, a share than an uncovering, a discovery, if you will, around something that I grew up not really being very aware of, and something that I've learnt to become, I suppose, just better with as I've gotten older. One of the things that I learned in my 20s was that I wasn't very good with money, whatever the fuck that means. I mean, everyone has their own different meaning around it all, or standards maybe, but I wasn't very good at saving, and I wasn't. I suppose a hedonic treadmill, as your income increases, so does your expenses. So nothing really sort of changes, basically. It's like if you can't handle 50k, then you won't handle 100. You'll still have the same sort of thing. Anyway, it was that kind of idea. So for me, I probably struggled with managing money, and in fact, I actually avoided dealing with it in the business, which was a big downfall for the businesses and for myself in many ways. I had income drop, and for a couple of years I was probably earning around like, I don't know, 30k or something like that. It was tough times for me, so to speak. I actually ended up, I was house sitting for 3 years, but for the most part I actually couldn't afford to really pay myself more, and I was actually just a way to not have to pay rent. It was I scraped it together, but I mean, that's just to give you a ballpark, I suppose, of some difficulties that and some lessons that I had to learn with money and business and that. On the flip side of that, though, I then was sort of realized that I actually have to learn about money. I have to learn about how it works, or what it is, and all that sort of stuff, and see if I actually had any hang-ups on money. I was talking with a friend today, and that was a question that I asked him. I go, what's your hang-up on money? Right? Because a lot of us do. A lot of us have different belief structures. Hey, it's like people go, I just need a strategy. You just need to save. You just need this. But it's actually, we've got to take an integrated approach to a whole range of things with how we approach something, and money's no different. And so for a lot of people will have some unconscious beliefs, or some higher frames is another way to think of that sentence, that are actually governing the way that they view money, whether they feel that they deserve money, they don't deserve money. I mean, we usually get what we feel we deserve. That's probably the first part. I grew up being told, and these heavily dictated how I thought about money, is that would see something on the TV. My mum is mostly the person who governed it, but my dad played a role as well. It was my parents. They split up when I was 8, and I had 3 sisters, and I was the fourth sibling, right? And so I remember something would pop up on TV or in the newspaper or something, and she goes, "That's how the other half lives," and which meant that they were wealthy. We weren't. That was the underlying thing in that. So I was never part of the other half, even though it's not usually half either, by the way. But that was the mind set, and that mind was set. Hey, it's pretty interesting when you look at it like that. And then other things, such as I remember asking my dad for some money to buy some red frogs, and he would from time to time tell me, he's like, got no money, like, I'm broke, mate. But it was a way to get your child to stop begging you for lollies, when I was probably already high on sugar anyway, running around the hockey centre here in Canberra. And I remember thinking, is like, well, Dad works away and we still don't have enough money to buy frogs. And then I had something later on in my teens where Mum said about paying rent first, and that was the thing. Okay, that was turned into a value for a little while, and all of these things kind of govern my belief structures around money, and any sort of, let's just call it scarcity beliefs or frames that I had around money. Anyway, money's just a form of energy. It's just a form of trading, right? It's money has no emotions. We give money the word money and the concept, which is actually just a concept in mind, right? We give it emotions, and that's how we often, I'm going to use the word sabotage, whether that's the right word or not, but usually sabotage our approach to money, our relationship with money, therefore our actual ability to make a larger impact, etc. Ability to ask people to pay for your services, whatever it may be, right? There isn't a strategy around marketing or anything else or selling that's going to get through if somebody has a bad mental and emotional relationship with money. And I say bad as in it's not, they have negative feelings or emotions towards it, right? I remember driving home one time from the gym where I worked, my business, and I just sat there and I go, hang on a sec. I go, if I pay rent first, when the fuck do I pay my mortgage? It's like it's presupposing that I'm going to be renting. I don't want to rent. And this was quite interesting for me because I was like, oh, fuck, how many of the other thoughts like this do I have that like unknowingly and unconsciously govern the way that I fucking behave every single day? And so I've got other mates that are like really money driven, but at the same time they get more enjoyment out of saving money than what money could potentially maybe allow them to experience. Like it's all fucking meaning structures, and then we have these rules that we make up ourselves that if I am able to achieve X, then I'm allowed to feel Y, right? It's like it's really interesting. And so because of that, my mate who might be really more structured or let's say strict with money compared to myself, we may experience the same emotion, the same dopamine response, whatever it may be, but we've both achieved different things. I went and spent some money on a weekend to go away and with my family. They ended up saving money or buying some stuff off Marketplace to flip so that they can make money, and we both get the exact same feeling. It's just fucking meaning structures. And when we can learn to get to the core of our meaning structures, we can start to hack the way that our own fucking mental matrix works. We start to change the coding to basically not just operate the way that we were taught as children, but the way that we can now find resourceful for whatever is required of us in the moment. And that's where it's most powerful, when we're actually able to start seeing things and start to change that mental coding, right? And it's one of the most powerful things that we can do, not just for ourselves, but for the people around us. If I'm in business, and this is a really important conversation for anyone that's in business, especially if they're struggling to increase their what they charge, if they charge too low for their experience, if they are owning a business and living paycheck to paycheck, like. If you are doing, let's talk about one-on-one personal training. It's a really easy example. If you're doing one-on-one personal training and you're struggling to put your prices up, but you've maxed out your hours, right? And you're at capacity, and your costs are at capacity, your income's nearly at capacity to some degree. It's like you can't actually serve that client very well, because while you're serving them, you're worried about, is this client going to leave? Is the other client going to leave? Is that person going to come back to their inquiry? Will that next person sign up? You can't really be there with them, because you've still got this underlying fear or concern, which is probably a pattern for a lot of people that run this, right, throughout their life, that they're going to run out of business or something along those lines. It's like, when you can charge what you feel you're worth and genuinely feel okay, and you've got a comfortable salary and comfortable income for yourself, then you can actually really step into your potential and really make the impact that you're actually capable of doing. When you're concerned around money, you can never really make that impact because you're in survival mode. How can you help other people thrive when you're trying just to survive? It's a really important thing, and so there's some ways to get around that I think are very beneficial, and really it's getting to the core of our own meaning structures. So maybe some questions that might be useful for you there is, what are the feelings that come up for me when I think about money? What are the things that come up for me when I ask for a sale? What are the thoughts that come up for me when I think about what I earn? What are the thoughts that come up for me when I think about earning $100,000? Then change that number to whatever number you want to change it to, higher, lower, whatever the case might be. See where you feel comfortable, see where you feel uncomfortable, right? And these start to give you indications of exactly why maybe you're getting the results that you're getting, and same with the people around you. But on that note, team, I'm done. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you did find this podcast beneficial, I would love to hear about it, but I'd love it if you would share it with someone else that you think would also find it beneficial. If you haven't already, jump on the Facebook page, the Moo Prep community, and I'll see you in there as well. Otherwise, team, I'm done. Until tomorrow, peace and pizza, kicked it in the dick, slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
To be everything at once, be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.